Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a fantastic day because we are about to make some true paper crafting magic. Stay tuned. Everyone watching this video, thank you so much for sharing a part of your day with me. I really appreciate it. And if you're not a subscriber and you're looking to take your paper crafting to the next level, and if you're looking for ways to make your paper crafting dollars stretch, this is the channel for you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we would love to have you join the online crafting family that we've created here. And when you hit the subscribe button, make sure that you hit that notification bell as well so that you will know whenever I upload a video. So in a previous video, we made some super awesome and super stinking cute jumbo paper bows. So easy to make, so elegant, and they're perfect for all occasions. And when you have a bow that looks like this, you need packaging that does this bow justice. And that's exactly what we are going to be making today. So my goal today is to give you a reason and show you how you never have to go to the store again to buy your packaging, because when we're done, you'll be able to make your own with 100% confidence. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So we have two projects that we're going to be making today, guys, to complement our bows. One of them is going to be this incredibly gorgeous gift bag. And it is totally customizable. Your choice on how you decorate it, what you put on it, what you put in it, but you're going to make it. And this is a really large bag. It is 8 3/4 by 8.5 by 2.5. And it is so easy to make, but don't you think that this bow really takes this bag to a whole new stratosphere? This is how we should be doing gift bags and gift packaging. We should make them elegant. And you know something else? When you take this bag to an event, or if you give your gift in this bag, no one else will be giving a gift in a bag like this because you made it. It's one of a kind, and it will be, bar none, the best looking bag to be given. So then the second project that we're going to make is this really large box, and I'm going to turn it this way so that y'all can see just how gorgeous this is. Again, I used one of my paper bows to really highlight this gorgeous box. And you guys remember how large my bows are. So this box, I'm going to take the lid off so that you can see the inside. This is a very large box. It is 6.5 tall, 6.5 wide, and 6.5 deep. This is a substantial size box. And can you imagine this box decorated for a baby shower? You can take these big boxes and spell out the word baby with your own custom bows. This box has so many awesome possibilities, and I'm going to show you one really special possibility before we even make it. So here is what we're going to do. We are going to take this box and we are going to fill it with our bows. And we are going to make our bows become the actual gift. The gift of packaging and the gift of embellishments is so appreciated, especially by the non-crafter. So I have talked long enough. Let's make this box. So here is what we're going to need to make our box. We're going to need 4 pieces that measure 6 by 6. We're going to need one decorative piece that measures 6 3/8 by 6 3/8, So for this project, I am going to be using the Dollar Tree poster board, and you get 4 pieces in this pack, and I will be using 3 of the pieces from this pack to make this box. If you don't have access to a Dollar Tree, you can simply take some poster board or large paper and just make sure that you start working with the piece that measures 11 by 14. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to make the body of the box. So I am going to bring in my scoreboard for this part of the process, and it really is going to be a very simple process to achieve this awesome box. So on the 14-inch side, we're going to score at 6.5. Then I'm going to take that mark and slide it over because my paper is too long for my scoreboard. So I'm going to slide it over to 4. Then I'm going to score it another 6.5 inches. And then I'm going to rotate it to the 11-inch side, and I am going to score this at 4.5 as far as I can go. And then I'll just take it and flip it just like this, and I'll score it at 4.5. And then we'll take our second piece and we're going to score it at 6.5. Then we're going to move it over again so we have room to score at 6.5 again. So I'm just moving mine over to 4. You can move yours over to 3 or to 2, as long as you make your second score 6.5 inches away from that first score. So I'm going to go back and score. Then I'll place it in on the 11-inch side, score at 4.5, as far down as I can go. And then I'll flip it to the opposite end and score at 4.5 again. And then while I have my scoreboard out, we're going to go ahead and score the lid. So we have a lid piece that measures 10 5/8 by 10 5/8. We are going to score this at 1/2 inch and at 2 on all 4 sides. And then once we have all of our scores done, we can put the scoreboard away and put our project together. So I am going to bring in the 2 11 by 14-inch pieces, and then I'll fold and varnish all of my scores. And there aren't many scores. Okay, so once we have our 2 pieces, we're going to do the same thing on both. On the side where we've scored at 4.5, we are going to have a corner piece right here that we need to get rid of. So I will just angle down slightly, and then I will cut straight across and straight through that score mark. Then I'm going to go ahead and just angle on both sides of the score here at the bottom. So that's piece number 1. We're going to do the same thing for piece number 2. So we are going to just angle in just a little, and then I'll go to the score mark and cut straight through it. And now I can angle where my score mark runs right here. I am simply angling on both sides of that score mark. And this is how we will join our box. So we're basically going to take this piece, place glue on it, and place it here, and then we'll close it with this tab. So the first thing that I'm going to do is flip this over and add my glue. And then I'll take this piece And I'm just going to smush it around in that glue just a little bit and match it up. And I'm making sure that the top matches. And I don't want my paper going over the score mark. So we have it just like that. And then I'll just bring in my big old spatula, get everything nice and stuck. So now we have a box that's ready to be put together. But before we put it together, I want to take my 6 by 6 inch piece. I have already put tape on the back and I'm using double stick tape. And I am just going to take this, place it down just like that. And then I'll slide it over. And when I'm placing down my next piece, I'm basically trying to match up the bottom. And I will just keep sliding it over so that I can place down my pieces. And we'll put our last piece down. And now I'll just use my big old spatula to go across this piece and get everything nice and stuck. And so now we have a box that is ready to be put together. Putting it together is going to be oh so simple because we already have our glue tab. And I just need to take my Reptile Glue and I am just going to place my glue on that tab. Then I can take this piece, I'm going to bring it over, and I want to make sure that I have it matching at the top. And as y'all can see, we have a very large flat fold box. So if you wanted to make up bunches of these, you could. If you wanted to make these as packaging ideas to sell at your craft fair, you could. One of the things that I would do if I was doing that is I would make sure that I put the double-sided tape on the bottom so that whoever purchases this just knows that they need to fold it up, peel that tape off, and they have a box. But just make sure that if you do use double-sided tape, you're very generous with it so that it will hold whatever's going on the inside. So now that we have our box, we're able to put it together. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my box, stand it up, and fold it in just like that. And I am going to add just a little glue because I don't want those side flaps being loose. And then I'll take some glue and I'm going to place glue on my back flap and I'm going to fold that up, and then I'll place glue on my front flap, and then I can fold that in, and then I'll stand up my box, get it nice and squared, and then I'm going to use my baby spatula to go on the inside and get everything nice and stuck. So I want to make sure that the base of this is nice and stuck. So there we have our very large box. Now we need to make a lid for this very large but very cute box. So we have already scored the lid, and we started with a piece that measures 10 5/8 by 10 5/8, and we scored it at 1/2 inch and at 2 on all 4 sides. So I am just going to use my little baby spatula here to come in and fold and burnish all of my scores. Then when I have all of my scores folded and burnished, we are going to have 3 corner pieces that we need to get rid of, 2 rectangles and a square. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come over to the second score mark coming in and drag straight down. And we're doing that just to free up our tab. And then I'll go ahead and just angle in here. I'll angle in there to remove this piece. And then I'm going to reduce that piece. So again, we'll come into the second score mark, free up that tab, angle in, go back to that first score mark, angle in, and trim this piece. And then we'll reduce that. Okay, so once we have all of our tabs cut and released, if you want, you can just come back on these longer pieces and just angle in the bottom flat piece, because that'll just make it easier for you to fold these over. I didn't take off much, it just took off a little bit. You can put your box together with glue or a very good double-sided adhesive. I would not put this box together using my tape runner. And by tape runner, I mean a snail tape runner like this one, because it's not designed to carry weight. And if you're going to make a box like this, then you're probably going to put something of weight in it, unless, of course, you're giving a box of bows, and then the bows don't weigh much. So what I'm doing is I'm placing glue on my flap, and I'm folding that in, and I'm making sure that my edges are nice and tight. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Place glue on that tab, match it up, get everything nice and tight. And we'll do our last one. And I'm using my little spatula just to go inside and get everything nice and stuck. So all I'm going to do at this point is just fold back my outer flaps so that I can place some glue. And I'm going to place glue on all of these outer flaps. And then we're going to close our sweet little box. So now that we have our glue, we're just going to take that outer flap, fold it in, use your bone folder, spatula, ruler, whatever it is that you have that works for you. And just do this on all four sides. So now I'll just take my spatula and just go around the inside to make sure I have all of my outer flaps folded in and they're nice and stuck. And then when I have all of my flaps folded in and everything is nice and flat on the inside, I'll bring in my box for the moment of truth. And you can see that we have a lid that fits perfectly on this box. We are not going to add any strips to the front because I don't think they need it. I actually like that white look. And then guys, I have my 6 3/8 by 6 3/8 inch piece, and I actually should have put it down before I put the lid together, but I didn't. So I have got double stick tape on the back, and I am just going to get this placed down as evenly as I can. And now I'll bring my box back in. And now, as you can see, we have a beautifully finished box. So what I want to do from this point is I want to add a bow. And where you place your bow is completely up to you. I happen to be partial to the bow being on the front just like that. So that's what I am going to do, but you can actually place your bow wherever you want it. So I am going to take my glue and just place some glue on the back. And I am actually going to be using this particular box at Christmas as well as the other one. So I am going to remove the lid for just a moment so that I can make sure I have this on nice and straight, just as I like it. And so now I'll put the lid back on my box, and y'all can see, isn't that gorgeous? It is absolutely spectacular, guys. What I'm showing here on camera does not do this box justice. It is so stinking cute. So I am going to bring that red one back in, and hopefully I can get a decent camera shot on both of these so that y'all can see just how gorgeous they really are. And they are so large that I cannot get both of them into frame the way that I want, but y'all can see just how gorgeous these are and how easy they were to actually make. So when you have something like this under your Christmas tree, or you give something like this as a Christmas gift or a Hanukkah gift or a Kwanzaa gift, birthday gift, whatever, no one else is going to have a box like this. I can promise you that, because these are special. So I am going to move these out of the way, and we're going to make our bag. So here's what we're going to need to make the bag. We need 2 pieces that measure 3 by 12. These are the bag straps. We need 2 pieces that measure 2 1/4 by 8 1/4. These are the sides of the bag. We need 2 pieces that measure 8 1/4 by 8 3/4. This is the front and the back. And then I will be using 2 pieces of my Dollar Tree white poster board that measures 11 by 14. So the first thing that we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go ahead and make our handles so that they will have a chance to really harden and take our round shape without getting any creases in it. So I have my 2 pieces that measure 3 by 12, and on the 3-inch side, we're going to score at 7/8 of an inch, rotate it to the opposite 3-inch side, and score at 7/8 of an inch again. And we're going to do that on both pieces. So on the 3-inch side, score at 7/8. Rotate it to the opposite 3-inch side, score at 7/8. And then we're going to fold and burnish our scores. And I always make my handles first whenever I'm making a bag, because if you don't, sometimes if the glue hasn't set up, then you might actually get a crease or a fold where you really want that roundness. So I have found that by making my handles first, I eliminate that from happening. So I am going to take my glue, place my glue down, and get it stuck. And then I'll take my glue, place it on this one. We're going to get that stuck. And then once we have both of these made, all I want to do is take my spatula or my desk. I can roll it against the desk, and I am just giving it a chance to round before that glue sets up. And you can see that I have a little curve there. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I am just going in, using my spatula and creating some roundness. Now I'm going to set these to the side, and we're going to make the bag, and then that way once the bag is done, we'll have nice hardness to those straps. So on both pieces of our 11 by 14 inch paper, the scoring will be exactly the same. So we are going to score this at 2.5 on 3 sides. So we'll score 2.5 on the 14 inch side. We'll run out of room. I'll take my paper, flip it, and then I will score at 2.5 until I meet that original score. Then I'll take this and score at 2.5 again on the short side. So I'm scoring at 2.5 on both short sides and 2.5 on one long side. We're going to do that on both pieces. So 2.5, rotate it to the long side, score at 2.5 as far as I can go. Then I'll take my paper, flip it, put it back in, and score at 2.5 until I meet the original 2.5 inch score. And then I'll turn it to the second short side and score at 2.5. So now we are going to fold and burnish our scores. Okay, so now that we have the scores folded and burnished, on one of our pieces, we need to remove those corner squares all together. So I am just using my finger blade to remove those. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. So just take it out all together. So you're going to have a piece that looks like that. Let's set that to the side and bring in the second piece. So on the second piece, we are not going to remove these corner pieces, and we're not going to cut down. We are going to cut out on our scores. So I'll go to that first one, cut out just like that, and then I'm going to angle just a little bit. And I'll turn it to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. So now I have this piece that looks like this. So let's come back to the piece where we remove the bottoms completely. And I am going to reduce my glue flap here, and I'm going to reduce it to about 1/2 inch. You can make yours larger if you want, but I am taking off some of this because we don't need that extra bulk on the sides. So now I have a glue flap for my side pieces. And now, guys, we can put our box together. So the way that we do it, this piece is actually going to be joined right here. So what I'm going to do on mine is I'm going to place mine down with glue. I like using glue at this part of the project because it gives me some wiggle room on my placement. If you use tape, you've pretty much got to make it work the moment you put it down. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this, I'm placing it right inside of those flaps, trying to get it even with that score. When I think I have it even, I'll flip it over and check it at the back. And then I will just smooth out that glue. Okay guys, so what I have done is I have added my double-sided tape to the back. So I am going to go ahead and just get that placed down while my bag is flat. So I've got that one piece placed down. Then I'm going to take one of my side pieces here and I am going to match it at the top. Try to get it nice and even. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to take this one, place it at the top, and we're going to get it stuck. Just like that. And then I'll come over to the other side, take my second piece of 8 1/4 by 8 3/4 inch piece, and I am going to get that stuck down. And so now we are ready to put our box together. And the way that we are going to do it, the first thing that we need to do is we need to add glue to this and join these two together. So I am going to take my glue and I'm going to go ahead and just place it all over this because it'll need to be there anyway. And sometimes I forget to place it when I'm making a bag. So I am just going to take that tab, join it with that glue flap, just like that. And then we'll take some glue, place it on the glue flap like that. And now we can take this piece and we're just going to close this side. So we're going to make sure we have it matched at the top and we'll run it all the way down to the bottom. So just get it nice and matched at the top. Then I'll come on the inside and you'll be able to see me go in on the inside on this side. But once I finally close the bag, you won't be able to see it. But all I'm doing is going on the inside and making sure that I have that glue nice and stuck. So we're going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to take my glue, place my glue on this flap. Then I'll stand this up and I'm going to get this stuck just like that. And now I can take my glue, place my glue on my little glue flap here. Then I can just fold over this piece. And I want to make sure that when I close it, I'm matching it at the top. So I'll use my paper towel just to get some of that excess glue. And then I'm just going to hold that down. And this time I'm going to go on the inside with my ruler just so I can get in that crease nice and tight and get it stuck. And now we have our sweet little bag. And because I removed some of that excess on the glue flap, I can now take this and pinch it at the top and just start pinching down, and it'll pinch with a very neat little crease on both sides. So you can pinch it down as far as you want. And then one thing that I forgot to mention in the supply list was that I want to place these toppers, and they are 2 by 9. So all I'm going to do is fold them in half. You can place them in your trimmer if you want. I am just going to fold them like this. And I'll do this one as well. We're just going to get this folded. And we will have a really cute little topper to go on our bag. And it'll just finish it off. So now that I have it like that, I'm going to bring my bag in and just place it to make sure that it's going to fit. And if it's a little bit large, which mine is, but it's only like a little smidgen too big, I am going to come back and just sort of angle my ends just like that. And I'll try it again. Let's put it in. And you can see that that fits. So I am going to take my glue, place my glue on this topper piece. Now you could actually use your tape runner on the topper piece if you wanted. And I am going to get that topper stuck down. I'll go in with my little baby spatula and get it nice and stuck. And you can see that that does add just a little finishing touch to the top. I didn't want too wide of a band because I really want that bow to be the focal point. So I am adding glue to the second piece here. And on the second piece, I actually forgot to angle that. So I'm going to angle it. I have to clean my scissors and angle it. And by clean my scissors, guys, I simply mean that I'm going to wipe off that glue. So I have that piece stuck down. Again, I'll go in with my little baby spatula and we'll make sure that we have it nice and stuck. And now we have our bag like this. The back of your bag is wherever the glue flap is. So if the glue flap is on this side, that's the back. So this is the front. Now I can take my handles, which have hardened nicely, and just place them down. So I am going to place my handles down using hot glue. So I'm going to do them one at a time. So I am going to get this one placed. Going to lay it down and really get that stuck. And so now I'll take this piece and I am just going to place some glue on it. And I'll take it, put it inside of my bag, and try to match it with the other one on how far down I have them going. So now I can lay this one down, use my spatula to get that nice and stuck. And we have that one handle on, and now we're going to do the second one. So I am going to flip this over, add my glue, and I am being generous with the glue. I'll stand it up and I'm just eyeballing where I have it placed. I want to try to make sure I match it in placement with the other one, and then I'll get it stuck. And then I'll take some glue, place some glue on my last piece of the handle. I'm going to stand it up, and then I'll roll it around, and we're going to get it stuck. And before I stick it, I want to make sure that they are the same height. And when I know that they are, then I'll really press down on that glue to get it nice and stuck. I'll use my spatula to go in and really get that hot glue connected. And so now, guys, we have our sweet little bag, and I am just going to add my bow just like that. You can add your bow using hot glue. You can add your bow using wet glue. You can punch through with the brad that you placed on there. I am just going to add this particular bow using some hot glue. So that will still mean that whoever gets this if they want to reuse the bow, they'll be able to take it off. So I am just pressing down right there in the center. Going to give that glue just a chance to set up. And now that my glue has dried, look at how elegant, absolutely elegant this bow is. Now the papers that I used to make the bows are from Anna Griffin's 2020 Christmas papers. So she has a collection that she normally comes out with every year, and this is the 2020 Christmas double-sided Christmas collection that I'm using. And as you can see, the papers are spectacular, and they make super awesome, elegant, absolutely elegant looking gifts. I could have chosen any paper and the bows would have been spectacular, but this gold infused paper that Anna has is just absolutely, bar none, some of the best out there for Christmas crafting. It is gorgeous. So I am going to bring in our 2 projects from today. Hopefully you guys can get a pretty good look at these. We have this gorgeous bag that we made so that we could showcase this beautiful, beautiful bow. And then we did the same with our large box that is showcasing this bow. And don't be afraid to use bows this large in your crafting, because you can turn around if you need large packaging. Bows like this really do set your large boxes and bags apart from everyone else. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. I hope that it has given you some ideas on ways that you can use those large paper bows as you begin to make them. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, didn't this just convince you to subscribe? I certainly hope so. So if it did, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. You guys, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.